Yeah.
Should we good? Yeah. All right, so first of all, just how was your summer and getting ready for the season?
Summer was great. It went by really, really fast. It was a blink of an eye, and June was already over, and now I blinked again, and now July is almost over as well. So, but I had a really good summer. Just enjoyed working with the guys.
What specifically were you working on this season with the guys?
Really just working on my technique, just trying to be technically sound, because that's one thing that you have to be, really good at, especially in my position, is just being technically sound.
Does it feel any different with not having Nolan there and Jalen Carter and some of the guys who were drafted this year, and how do you hope to kind of replicate it with those guys not there?
Definitely with those guys, especially Nolan, it's a little bit quieter around the facility, but with those guys gone, a lot of guys had to step up, and we're ready for that.
How much do you enjoy the leadership role?
I really, start to, really enjoy it. I just take it as a blessing. It's an honor, not a job, to be at Georgia, and then it's even more of an honor to be considered a leader on this team.
Tell us about the outfit ensemble.
I just, put a little something together, but I think I look pretty good today. So.
The K3 change, is that something specifically for this, or have you had that for a while?
This is just something that, I just like to represent myself by. All my teammates call me K3, and that's just who I am.
Kamari, what's the biggest challenge of being two-time national champions? And there's obviously pressure. You guys want to win a third straight.
I think the biggest challenge for us is just battling complacency. Like Coach Mark is probably saying right now, better never rest. And we're just trying to combat complacency. Just be the best version of ourselves that we could be.
Does it feel? Coach Mark always talks about like this year's team hasn't won anything. Those are previous teams that have won. So do you feel like that again? It's reset, and you guys now have another championship to win solo?
I feel like every year it resets. We haven't done anything. We've done a little bit of off-season work, but we haven't played a single game or anything like that. So, we have a lot of work to do.
What are you most excited about on the defensive side of football?
Really, I'm just really excited, just to get all the guys back together on the field and just playing again. Just the rush of being able to play with the guys and all the excitement that we bring to the game is, is second to none.
Winning a third straight national championship is obviously incredibly hard. It hasn't happened since the 30s. Why can this team accomplish something like that?
I believe that this team, we have the leadership to do it. We have the players to do it. We just have to, have the right mindset and just take every day as if it's our last.
What have you kind of seen from the quarterbacks just during the practices that you've seen, whether it's Brock or Carson, so far?
I just see a group of guys that are just composed, a group of guys that never really waver, like said earlier, our defense, we talk a lot of trash, we try and get in a lot of people's heads, but, they never really waver, and that's one thing that I can really attest for them.
Okay, you said that it's a little bit quieter with Nolan gone. So who replaces that on defense?
We got a lot of different guys. Some people might say that I kind of replace it, but I don't really know. I try to bring my own energy, and but we have a lot of guys, just bring different kinds of energy to the, to the team and to the locker room.
Just not the Nolan energy.
That's just different energy.
Where does the K3 nickname come from?
So it's kind of simple. My name's Kamari. I'm number 3, but also my family, me, my mom, and my dad, our first names start with the letter K, so it kind of has a double meaning.
Could go to third championship as well, then? Third straight maybe?
I haven't even thought of that. That would be pretty cool too.
What do you expect to see from Malachi Starks? He was a true freshman last year, started off really hot and heavy there at the beginning of the season. What are you guys saying to him? What are those conversations like?
Malachi is a guy where you don't really have to say too much to him. He's a self-motivated guy, kind of one of those guys, first in, last out kind of guy. He wants to work, he wants to get better, he loves the game of football. So it's not really much that you have to say to motivate Malachi.
It's kind of been a unique offseason just with how you guys won a national championship and then kind of some things going on off the field. How have you guys been able to stay focused, and maybe what's Coach Smart's message been to you guys?
Really, we've just been really just trying to lean on each other, just trying to stay connected. We've had some things that have gone on, but really just leaning on each other, leaning on the coaching staff, and really just on the players, and everybody just trying to stay connected.
How do you navigate that as a leader? Like, how do you get those guys connected?
Just more or less just trying to, keep the main thing. Whenever it's time for football, go to work, and then whenever it's off the field, you're just trying to keep, the guys together and keep the morale high.
Anything else from Mark? All right.
Thank you.